Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're all having a good day. Today's video, yes, I saw the Daily Mail article about Meghan. Well, this is how the impression it gives, and so does Harry's book, actually, which I do have a copy of and I have read. Gives the impression that Meghan went to the hospital, gave birth, and came home in 2 hours with baby Archie. We're going to talk about that. In the meantime, of course, I cannot not mention that we wake up here in Europe and we've heard the news that America has a new president. Congratulations to those who wanted President Trump and commiserations to those who wanted a President Harris. Democracy, I have no opinion either way. Well, apart from cryptos. Crypto industries are feeling good this morning, but that's got nothing to do with politics. Democracy is an imperfect solution, isn't it? In fact, Graham and I were looking up Plato and was it Socrates talking about democracy and the failings of it, and they were critics of it. Interesting idea. It would be interesting, wouldn't it, if in order to vote, people had to go on, I don't know, some website and just answer a very short multiple choice question, like just to check that they know what's going on. Like maybe something like, is Kamala Harris a man or a woman? You know, no, she's not a man. She's not a man. Oh, really? You know, just to check that there might be a few people out there with loose marbles who don't know what they're... Not I'm suggesting anyone who would choose either one has got no marbles, but you know what I mean. But then I suppose who would create the questionnaire? I think it would just have to be like really basic questions. Like maybe something, how often do you breathe? Because I'm sure some people would probably, you know, all the time could be answer A. Once a day could be answer B. Every 6 months when I go for a checkup at the doctor's could be answer C. And it would be surprising, I think a lot of you would be surprised to see how many sugars might choose B or C as opposed to A, as we've all seen with the sugar who is up in Crown Court. This Diane woman, the latest is she denies that she has ever posted anything about our daughter, despite the copious screenshots that we've demonstrated with. And she's even gone further to say, in the same breath, that she did attack our daughter on the basis that some absolutely boring veteran told her he had hard evidence that our daughter was behind at least one of the troll accounts on X. Well, newsflash, she's not behind any of the troll accounts on X or any platform. She's not interested in you, you boring fat old git. Right, let's talk about how one gives birth, including a couple of car journeys. First time pregnancy. I mean, if you look up Meghan Markle's wiki page, Archie is her firstborn. Right, well, I have had 2 children. And the first one, I'm sure you ladies out there know what I'm talking about. Second one, it's no picnic, is it? I didn't go any further than 2, but second one was a little easier than the first one. 2 hours, my goodness me. So Lady C's right. I mean, not only can Archie do acrobatics at Birkenhead, he's got to be the baby of the century, of the millennia. 2 hours, really. And actually, if you read the section where Harry talks about them going to the hospital and stuff and how he consumed all of the gas, I'm not going to criticise him for that. Graham did the same thing when Benji was born. He just tried a bit of a whiff of the gas. But once it was clamped in my teeth, you know, no one was getting a look in. The way Harry describes it is almost as if he's never actually been at the birth of a child. It's just nonsense what he puts in his book, unless he was off his tits on something, apart from gas. I mean, he talks about epidurals and then her walking around getting in and out of a bath. I had an epidural on the first one because I was in agony. You know, I actually think I was going to die the first time. It went on for 8 hours, by the way. Harry, hey, Windsor. That's kind of average. I mean, it can go on longer. Yes, it can be quicker. 2 hours? My goodness. Now, the thing that really... Because we all know all this, don't we? We've known all about this for several years. And as I've often said, it's not really a subject that interests me. Something about Markle. For a woman who says she wants a lot of privacy, she creates these situations where people are talking about her lady parts all the time. And I find it, you know, and I'm sure editors of the newspapers feel the same, especially men. I mean, no, I don't recall anybody discussing Our Late Majesty in this manner. I don't remember anybody discussing Princess Diana in this manner, or Princess Anne, or, you know, Princess Catherine, or any of them. But Meghan Markle, it's a constant debate, isn't it? About her lady bits and whether they work or not. I mean, extraordinary. The part I find really extraordinary is that the Daily Mail are now finally publishing an article. But they don't actually go there and say, is it possible to give birth in 2 hours? And the journey there and back. So this is what I mean about lily-livered journalists. There are YouTubers out there sticking their neck out. Wally, of course, was one who was heavily criticised. Remember that? Jack Royston, Christopher Boozy, etc., etc. Oh, yes. Someone sent a screenshot that this Diane Durham has been told off by one of the general sugars. When I say general, I mean, you know, hierarchy. Ian Sexton is not happy with Diane Durham, and Diane rather lamely replies, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. I think you might be confused." Isn't that interesting? Yes, I bet she's making them all look very bad, which I have pointed out for years and years and years and years and years and years and years, sugars. I pointed it out to Christopher Boozy at the time. Why'd you go around acting like this? Not very professional, is it? But at that stage, I didn't know that Harry and Meghan were going to have him on their Netflix show. Something, don't ever let him... If I ever disappear, guys, don't ever let them forget that one. Don't ever let them off the hook on that one. Ever. A stain on history. So yes, why is it that the press just won't go there? Oh, is it because of the 5 friends and the letter and the lawsuit? Everybody's just so scared of getting sued. So basically, if you've got lots of money, newspapers won't say, they'll be very careful what they say about you. But if you're one of us poor peasants, well, it's open season, isn't it? They can say what they bloody well like. In the meantime, YouTubers and TikTokers are out there actually telling the truth. I mean, I am shocked that what that woman did in court to Trevor the other day. Steph witnessed it. She came over and accused Trevor of trying to buy a gun to kill her. I mean, this woman's not insane. She's thick as pig shit. That's what she is. I've met these kind of people before. I think we've all got a lick of the sugars, you know, up till now, and how stupid they are. So the press were there. They saw this scene happen, and not one of them printed it or mentioned it. This woman's up in court for bad behaviour, alleged bad behaviour, right? To me, it's not alleged because she's confessed, like 1,000,000 times. And they're not going to print. Actually, we actually saw this happen in the waiting room outside the court. We actually saw this woman behave like this. She's posted it on social media. She was taking pictures of Trevor and Steph from the window down on the street. And no one's going to mention any of this except the West Yorkshire Post. And they didn't mention that part. So I'm thinking, how many royal events, lots of stuff happens that the newspapers just don't print? I mean, I heard about an incident on an aeroplane in Australia with a pair of scissors being thrown at somebody at one point. Is that true? Isn't that true? Did that happen? Didn't that happen? Now, after this Diane Durham episode in the court, which they don't want to talk about, now I'm wondering about the pair of scissors. No names mentioned, of course. And now the Daily Mail, in a very sort of, if I may say so, cowardly way, going around about the houses. When we've got celebrity YouTubers like Lady C, who for the last 2 years have been spelling it out and staying within the confines of the law to comment on oddities, shall we say, oddities of the pregnancy, oddities of timing, etc., etc. Daily Mail can't do that, no? It does make me wonder, you know, if it's one rule for them not up there, elites, whoever they may be, and a different one for us down here. And that people are allowed to get away with things. I mean, I'm not sure anybody else would be able to get away with completely blatantly lying in court and for the judge to say, oh, it's just misremembering. It does seem to be one rule for them and another for us, doesn't it? Oh, apart from and include the rest of the royal family, because, of course, the King and Queen have come under their criticism. Prince and Princess of Wales have had their criticism. As we all know, the Duke of York has had his criticism. It's like they're one of us, you know. They get mud thrown at them. Metaphorical mud, not like our king in Spain, who actually had mud thrown at him the other day. They've been dragged through the mill. But oh, not old Hazard and his bit on the side that he married. No, oh, God forbid, no one can talk about that, can they? So, what do you make of that? Do you think that the press are actually going to start commenting on things that just seem very strange? Is this the beginning of floodgates? And if that is the case, well, I'm personally going to find that quite frustrating, having sat back and watched YouTubers being bullied to within an inch of their lives and the newspapers wouldn't step forth. I'm not convinced that this is the beginning of the newspapers talking about it at all. I don't think so. I've been disappointed far too many times in my life to believe that there is such a thing as justice, or that newspapers do their job, or that police officers might actually look into things to figure out what happened. Nah, I think I'm too long in the tooth for all that. I think I will just get on with my boat and do my own thing. I've just washed it, actually, and tested it for leaks. No more leaks coming above either of those windows. I did the top two in the wheelhouse on that side. Didn't realise they were leaking. And I finally got my window tint up on the top three windows here. So we press on with the boat. We continue, and I watch with interest to see what will unfold. As far as I can see, Harry is nowhere to be seen. All the articles I've seen about him, even that appearance, he had a lot of hair. The surfing, he had a lot of hair. Anyway, I mean, I just don't believe anything I see of him. I don't think he's actually been seen out in public for a long time. So it's like, where's Harry? I know. Old Megsy's keeping her head down. Don't forget their Netflix shows are out soon. I think it's next month. I can't wait, personally, because I know it's going to be a right dog's breakfast and probably quite hilarious. Apparently Netflix have been complaining that what they've been given of the polo, you know, Harry's going to teach us all how to play polo, is that Harry's hardly in it. It's the Nacho show. Oh, and they're not happy about that at all. Well, perhaps old Hazard didn't want to participate. Maybe he wasn't around. Maybe they only got a few archaic shots of him on polo ponies. I don't know. I do thank God for YouTubers. I thank God for TikTokers, because if I really want to know what's going on the ground, then I go to TikTok or I go to YouTube. Usually TikTok, if it's like a live type thing that's happening, there'll be a TikToker there on the ground. Journalists, oh, hang your heads in shame, and the people you work for. I mean, your days are numbered. No wonder when you go on newspapers like The Guardian, they're begging for everybody to subscribe. The Daily Mail even now is starting to charge. Well, you know, get with the beat, guys. Get with the beat. Like, people are fed up of being lied to. Do you know what? This all started for me, really, not Meghan and Harry, probably back around about 2005-ish, when we were living in Brighton. And I suddenly started to notice on the TV and the internet and the news articles that apparently, for example, everybody in the world was fascinated by Katie Price and Peter Andre. Anyone who doesn't know who they are, they're British. Well, he's Australian. She's British. They got married. She's got big tits, you know, big false tits, and she's done various things. Now, I mean, they're all right. I've never been into them, but I mean, constantly, I thought, well, they had a TV show, you know, what happened to Katie and Peter, what Katie did next. It was being rammed down our throats, and I thought, do you know, I'm really not that into this girl. Why is she so popular? Why is everybody talking about this? And I've realised now nobody was. I wasn't the only one who wasn't interested. It was literally PR ramming it down everybody's throats, telling everybody, you need to be interested in this. You've got to look at this. I'm convinced, because I couldn't have cared less. I really couldn't. And they do it with other celebrities. So around about 2005, I was thinking, you know, I must be a real oddball because I'm not interested in that person. I'm not interested in that person. I don't want to talk about that. Why is everyone on the internet seem to be going crazy over this, like it's trending? And then, of course, we discover the bots, the troll farms, etc., PR companies pumping certain celebrities up, celebrity marriages that apparently ended years before, blah, 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 blah. I think credibility's been lost quite a lot. Well, it certainly has for me from mainstream media. I'm fed up with them. You know, tell the truth. According to Steph and Trevor, there were a lot of journalists in that court because when they went in, they go in a different bit. Only the West Yorkshire Post, and even they didn't mention about this woman's exhibition. Making a scene in the court, harassing someone she's already threatened on social media when she's up in court for making threats on social media. Unbelievable. Oh, and I hear some of her little supporters who at first denied they know her. Oh, no, she's nothing to do with us. But now, you know, they're all dead concerned. You know, will she go to prison? Won't she go to prison? Will she? Won't she? Well, who knows? They make a lot of demands, don't they, sugars? How dare you be in that court, Trevor? You've no business being there. Oh, excuse if fucking moi, sugar. It's the British court system. It's called the public gallery. And you do not have the right to tell anybody who can and cannot go. You're always full of demands, aren't you, sugars? You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to say that. Wow, what a load of little dictators. I suppose it's because Meghan's a bit of a dictator in high heels. Maybe they're following suit. I don't know who the hell these people think they are. Quite frankly, going around telling other people how they can and cannot live their lives, especially victims who have received death threats. Oh, you can't go to prison for that. Oh, yes, you can. Yes, you can. I know why she doesn't want a lawyer. It's not because she's crazy. It's because the lawyer would say, you did it, you said you did it, plead guilty, you're an idiot, you should never have had it transferred to Crown Court. Oh, well, the rest of the tribe of sugars can watch and weep, can't they? And I can't wait for the second dude, because he's in the system. The way it works, if a person is suspected of breaking the law in the United Kingdom, and I'm guessing this is the same everywhere else, but I'm doing this for the benefit of the sugars. Police will arrest you, they will question you, most likely release you on what's called police bail. If they want to put conditions, they'll put you before the court. Court will put, curfew maybe. And then you'll have lots of court hearings, which, as I've explained before, all begin in the magistrates. Please, plead guilty, plead not guilty, etc. And it will go on and on and on, and there will be many hearings in it, and it will go on. And ultimately, you will be dealt with. I mean, in Sugarland, the way they talk, it's like they have seemed to think all along that Trevor and I are going to demand that people are arrested for nothing just because Fiona and Trevor don't like them. No, Trevor and I have never said that. Neither has Graham. What we've said is if you break the law, like threatening to kill someone, is illegal. It's illegal, sugars. Stop doing that. You've been doing that for years, haven't you, for your dictator in high heels? Stop with the death threats. This is not the first time I've had to point this out. I feel exhausted. Half of me is amused to see how the judiciary will deal with a sugar. It'll be interesting, won't it? Welcome to our world, judges. Oh well, that's all I've got time for today because I'm gonna crack on and do some more fiberglassing. We are winning with the boat. We will be finished, I hope, by the end of this month. And, of course, we've got the live coming up, haven't we, on the 16th of November, the 1920s theme, where we can all let our hair down and have some fun, put politics behind you, whether you're happy or sad, and, we can have a laugh at Harry and Meghan's expense at the same time as having some fun. See you there. In the meantime, thank you very much for listening, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts and opinions.